Hey, welcome guys. We are in Chapter 9 of our textbook, Adobe Photoshop Creative Cloud Revealed by Elizabeth Eisner Redding. And in Chapter 9, we are looking at working with the special effects and filters. So the first exercise I'm going to demo for you is the poolside exercise where we're working with a blur filter. Filters are really a nice alternative to adding special effects to your imagery and adding them or at least previewing them before you actually have to commit to doing them and permanently affecting your image. So I'm really liking the Photoshop filters now that, again, we have the preview effects, and that's been in for a few years, not especially new, probably since you guys were working with it. So we are going to open up Photoshop. We're going to make sure Essentials is displayed. And then we're going to open 9-1, which I have 9-1 already open. I'm going to just maybe blow it up a little bit if I can. And then we are going to save it as poolside. Underscore your name. Whoop. You could spell it correctly though. Alrighty. Then we are going to make sure that we have the default foreground and background colors button on the tools panel, which we are going to go down here, which is the default, and click on that. That then displays the default foreground and background colors. And then you want to make sure that you have the rulers established or showing as well. And I always set the 0 or reset the 0 point. You want to make sure that you're in pixels or some other measurement. You hit the Control if you're on a Mac. Right click if you're on a PC, right on the ruler in that, oh yeah, but we need to be on the ruler, sorry guys. I had got the Move tool, put my cursor on the ruler, and then you can see the different measurement options that are available to you. All right, now we are going to click the Indicate Layer Visibility button on the plant left layer on the Layers panel. And we are also going to click on the plant center layer, click Visibility, and then we also want to click the eye or layer visibility on the plant right layer. Then we are going to look for the brown layer, brown bar layer, and make that active. And your panel should look like this figure 3 in your textbook, or mine on the on your screen. And I'm going to pull this out just a little bit so you can see better what it looks like. So these 3 layers are invisible. This is the active layer, and then we have the background layer or the pool layer, which is just, it looks like to me probably the background layer copied. And that's visible, but the background is not. All right, so I'll put this back over here. And then we're going to zoom in until the zoom factor is 200%. So I'm currently at 125%. Instead of using the zoom, I'm just going to fill in the zoom factor at 200%. And then we're going to go to Filter on the menu bar. We're going to go to Blur, and then we're going to go to Motion Blur. And the most recent filter applied to a layer appears at the top of the filter menu. So if this was, for example, the second time you wanted to apply this very same filter to another part of your image, you would just have to click on that in the top of your layer, in the top of the filter menu. All right, We're going to position the brown bar in the preview window with the hand pointer, and then reduce or enlarge the image using the buttons beneath the preview window so it displays in the center. The brown bar is repositioned from the left area to the center of the preview window. We want to verify that 0 is in the angle text box, which it is. You want to type 50 in the distance box, or move the glider or the slider. I just type. And this is what your motion blur dialog box should look like. And you can also adjust the settings in the motion blur dialog box by dragging the angle wheel or the distance slider, which we just mentioned, but this is the angle wheel too. You want to click OK. And then you'll see that motion blur, and you can see that on your layers panel, that was applied to the brown bar layer. All right, now we're going to create a smart object, and so we are going to get the Indicates Layer Visibility button clicked on the planet right layer on the Layers panel. Move this over a little bit so we can actually see it. We're going to click the same on the plant center, and then we're going to do the same on the plant left. And you can display or hide all layers except the one being clicked by pressing Alt if you are Alt-I if you're on a Windows, or Option-I if you're on a Mac. Now we're going to click the plant right layer. And any layer can be turned into a smart object. Before you apply filters to a layer, you want to convert it to a smart object, which will give you full editing capabilities over your filter selections. So we have got this selected. We're going to go to Layer on the menu bar, and we are going to point to Smart Objects, and we're going to convert it to a smart object. And you'll see this little icon in the lower right hand corner of your layer thumbnail that shows that it's now a smart object. You want to do a Command or Control S to save your work, and then we're going to take a look at this motion blur that was applied to the layer. And I'm going to move this over so you can see that. All right, and I'll be back in just a moment with another demo.